Everybody, this is Louis Amestoy with the Press Enterprise and HS Game Time Live, and I am now joined by John, the Prep Dog Murphy, and we're talking about the situation in Fontana Unified School District, where the school district board of the governing board, decided that they may want to consider cutting sports. That, of course, raised basically a lot of angry reaction from the athletes and parents, and the media was there in force, including yourself. What's the latest with this story? Now, I know they tabled the decision. You're hearing a lot of different things about what's going on here in Fontana.
Yeah, it was a little bit murky and hard to decipher. I mean, actually so vague that at one point I got up during the meeting and asked a question. And they said, have you submitted a paper? And I kind of chuckled, and they didn't let me ask my question. But anyway, you know, there have been different theories. One offered up was that, you know, it was kind of a bluff, that they were putting this sports thing out there so that they could just say to the counselors or whatever, hey, we put up sports, but they just didn't go for it. That was one theory. An interesting thing about it is that the athletic directors, as of I think that day, didn't even know anything about it.
Wow.
They went to the pre-releaguing meeting, and nothing was said about it, according to athletic directors from other districts whom I've spoken to. And that was echoed by John Romagnoli of Miller, who apparently, along with a couple of other ADs, got home and saw the agenda and basically freaked out.
I bet.
Yeah.
Now, athletics in Fontana, I mean, they're coming off a pretty good year in football with Kaiser and Summit both going deep into the playoffs. Summit playing for a CIF championship for the first time. I mean, Fontana has had a long history of excellence in high school sports, including Fontana's football program. Miller's put guys into the NFL. So has Fontana. You know, Summit put several guys in Division I football now. That would be a huge blow to the community, I would think.
Yeah, and to speak nothing of the basketball programs at Summit. I mean, you go back in history, and you know this very well. From your previous job, 1998, Miller, I think, had 8 Division I recruits.
All right, including Nick Barnett, who's played in the NFL for a number of years.
And I mean, the day after I wrote this story on Fontana Unified, I got a text from Tony Brill saying that Gary Dixon had signed with Colorado State something or other.
All right. Now, the interesting idea here, too, is that, you know, we were talking about this before, and you mentioned this in your article that was in the print edition the other day that
which you didn't read.
Well, I did not read that particular segment of it. But I raised the point with you earlier that they could have an exodus of athletes out of the school district if they cut sports, which raises a lot of issues about the leagues that they're in, and we'll get back to that in a second. But you're talking about between $6,500 and $7,000 per kid per year in an average daily attendance, which is how they fund schools. You're talking about a lot of money if 100 kids just said, I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah, Ed Kirby of Summit and Roger Blake of CIF State, who used to be the Elsinore AD and the Cajon coach, they laid all that ADA stuff out and explained it pretty well. And I mean, 42% of school populations play athletics.
Right.
And as Blake said, those athletes miss 6 less days per year than the average student.
Right.
And if you take that times 42%, you know, how many millions and millions of dollars would that be?
Now, you talked to other athletic directors in the area about this. I mean, every school district in the Inland Empire in Southern California, if not the state, is facing similar battles with funding. What was the reaction from others?
Well, I spoke to Ron Main at Norte Vista and you know, various others, and they all pretty much said the same thing, that they were getting texts out the wazoo, you know, about this deal. And you know, I think Ron Main mentioned that he got a text from a Fontana AD who said, hey, I might not have a job next year.
Right.
You know, and so they're not taking it lightly. I mean, some people are saying like, oh, they'll never cut sports, and I think that's true. But just the fact that it made its way onto an agenda and people took it seriously, as Roger Blake said, people have to prepare for the worst.
Right. And, so it sounds like maybe the district was just feeling out, what kind of reaction we're going to get. And obviously the reaction was pretty negative. There's obviously a lot of, you could have, like you said, an excess of students out of there. There's contracts they've signed over the next few years. They have league affiliations, Fontana and Miller in the Citrus Belt League, Summit and Kaiser in the Sunkist League, and then I think Hoop is in the Mountain Pass League. So
right.
Hoop Hills, right.
And, like Ro Magnoli said, the Miller AD, at what point do we start canceling contracts?
Right.
But I don't think it's going to come to that. But
do you think that they could? Do you think they could be in a situation? I mean, other school districts are probably in this situation, and maybe we should have a broader conversation about this. Do you think other school districts are in the situation where they've got to cut lower level sports, freshman, JV?
Well, they already have.
Right.
To a large extent, I think Moreno Valley cut freshman sports, and I've written about this before, and they've done every kind of creative thing that they can.
Right.
From if your game starts at 5 o'clock or it's on a weekend, you get there on your own.
Now, with the new releaguing for a second, let's just talk about a segue for that for a second. The proposals that are out there, there's nothing radical. I mean, basically, I would imagine a lot of schools could say, look, we can't travel more than 25 or 30 miles. Considering the price of diesel right now, considering the cost, the budget cuts they have now, is there any proposals that may make it even tighter, where schools are all playing in the same, basically the districts are together?
On to our next controversy.
Right.
And this is like a potentially big one. Evidently, the schools in Riverside, the superintendents from Alvord and Riverside, want to put all the Riverside schools together.
Right.
And so you're talking about lumping some real heavyweights with like a new school like Hillcrest.
Right.
And with schools that haven't, have struggled athletically in recent years like Ramona.
Ramona, right.
And they had the pre-releaguing meeting on Monday. Mm-hmm. And my understanding is that the ones from Alvord were supposed to put their magnets on the board with all these Riverside schools, but somehow the message didn't get to the Alvord ADs, and they put their magnets up under a different league.
Oh, really?
Which shocked a lot of people in the room.
All right.
Okay, so I don't know what's going to become of that. I haven't started to make phone calls, but that's going to have to be shaken out somehow.
Right.
And I can't see a brand new school being in a league with a real these heavyweights.
So
Riverside.
you'd have an 8-team league there with the Riverside and the Alvord schools, obviously, and then what happens to the Big 8 in that scenario, and the Inland Valley League? I mean, that's another. Is it a 7-team league at that point? It's kind of interesting. Some interesting scenarios there.
Well,
I guess it becomes a 6-team league because Ramona would come out of there as well, and Arlington.
I spoke to an AD all about this yesterday before my youth basketball pizza party.
You always got to throw that in there.
I do. I love my kids. But he laid it all out for me not exactly what's going to happen, but what's going to probably happen. And it's all pretty interesting, and I wish I had the stuff in front of me. Mm-hmm. But I think you're going to see for sure probably Cajon go to the CBL.
Really?
And Fontana to, I believe, the Sunkist.
Right. I've seen that proposal before.
Yeah. And, what happens in Riverside and Corona, I don't know. It's just going to be really interesting, and it's probably going to be one of the next big things that we write about.
Well, I mean, it seems like in the last releaguing cycle, they did a pretty good job of creating these sort of regional leagues where it was basically almost paired school districts. So you saw, Paris and the Lake Elsinore school districts in one league. You saw the Hemet San Jacinto school districts in one league. I mean, there were some interesting pairings going on there as well. So we'll see that again. And Murrieta and Temecula Valley as the other option in the Southwestern League.
Yeah.
All right.
So that's something to watch.
Something to watch as well. Well, we'll have more on this situation with Fontana and the continuing crisis with funding of athletic programs in inland Southern California.
Yeah, and you also wonder, like, Marcus Soward was just hired as the Miller football coach out of San Bernardino City Unified, and I called him Monday night, and he got back to me at like 10:30 or 11 o'clock at night, and I asked him about the whole situation. He said, "I don't know anything about it, bro."
Well, I mean, that's something that he's going to have to pay attention to as well.
Right.
All right, Prep Dog, thanks a lot for joining us. We'll be back later with John Murphy.